2015, San Bernardino. One of the guys had an iPhone that was locked. The judge basically said, hack this thing open. We want to see what's in it. And Apple said, no. They had a big argument with the FBI. And basically, Obama had a statement that I want to read because I thought it was a really good concise. It says, I'm confident that this is something that we can solve, but we're going to need the tech community, the software designers, the people who care deeply about this stuff to help us solve it. Because what will happen is if everybody goes to their respective corners and the tech community says, either we have strong, perfect encryption or else it's Big Brother in an Orwellian world, what you'll find is that after something really bad happens, the politics of this will swing and they'll become sloppy and rushed, and it'll go through Congress in ways that have not been thought through. And then you really will have dangers to our civil liberties because the people who understand this best, who care most about privacy and civil liberties, have sort of disengaged or taken a position that's not sustainable for the general public as a whole over time. And so a year later after that, the FBI had gone to Israel, they'd gotten the phone opened up, and this sort of went into the back burner. Last year, the FBI again called for a magical solution to breaking into phones. Like math should work for us and not for other people. Ray Ozzie basically presented something for key escrow, and everyone's like, we already did that, that's bad. Also last year, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and US basically said, you're going to build encryption backdoors or else. And Australia has implemented it. So sometime in the near future, all the craziness that Obama had predicted, Australia has said, yeah, we're for that. I was thinking about this, like how to solve this, because I think otherwise we'll end up like Australia. And it occurred to me that the analogy is safes. So right now, if the government wants to search your safe, and you don't want to give them the keys to it, they can bring in somebody to crack open your safe. They can physically open it up, and they can see what's inside it. Now, what's inside it, there's no law about what can be, and that could all be encrypted stuff in there, but they can open up your safe to see what's in it. Safes have lots of characteristics. The proposal that I would like to make is that cell phones should have a hardware backdoor to them that has a lot of the attributes that a safe has, because the US government is used to dealing with a safe, and if we can make a cell phone sort of like a safe, then there's a lot of analogs, and maybe that would draw a line to provide security that I think we don't want to have going through the Australia model. So the way this would work is you buy your phone, you turn it on, it creates a unique ID in the secure enclave that only it knows, and then it starts doing hash calculations like a Bitcoin kind of calculations of a hash of a hash of a hash of a hash, and does that so that it takes 72 hours to get a bunch of results. So it's going to take it time to do these things. So once it's done all that, then you've got a secure device where the phone would have attributes that are fairly similar to what a safe has, and I'll go through them one by one. So bypass unlock code, no. It's a bad idea, no. So this solution wouldn't have that either. It would take longer than 72 hours to crack open because you have to do the hash of the hash of the hash of the hash, and like a phone of the same model would have to be doing that. And the reason why you want a 72-hour hash of a hash, proof of work kind of thing, is that the evil maid problem. You go to sleep, somebody sneaks in, takes your phone, they crack it open, and they get all the stuff out of it, and they bring it back, and they stick it on your bedside, and you wake up, and you think, my phone's still here, and you don't realize that everything's been stolen. But if it takes 72 hours for someone to physically have your phone to crack it open, then you wake up and your phone's not there, you're going to wonder, but if you get it back within 24 hours, it's all good, because it takes 72 to get it open. So how would you know if it was forced open? Any phone, anybody else could say, yeah, I'll fingerprint your phone. So they basically call up an app, creates a random code, your phone reads it, it goes through an encryption, does a hash with the unique ID that's on your phone, and they store the result. And then later on, if your phone was missing for like a week, and you're wondering, did somebody break into my phone? You could go to that same phone, and you could ask that person, could you run the fingerprint again? And they run it, and they say, yeah, it's the same result. Or they go, this is not the same result. There'd be a way to know that your phone was broken into in the same way that if your safe is broken into, you can kind of tell, there's holes in it, things like that. So gives you a way to know that physically your phone that was gone for 72 hours has been opened. Can you store encrypted data in a phone? I think we're going to be able to do that, but that's an iffy at the moment. The cost to open this would be greater than the cost to replace. The idea here is that the 72 hours of hash of a hash of a hash of a hash, every 7 hours or so, there would be a result that gets stored by your phone when it's doing its calculations. So that if I say, I'm going to crack open your phone, I have to buy 10 of the exact same model, because who knows what the hash of the algorithm is. It's only inside the phone. I have to buy 10 of those, and each one I run to start the hash and then come up with like the first result to compare, each one I run blows a fuse that basically renders the phone completely worthless. So, you have the latest iPhone, whatever, that costs $1,000. Somebody wants to break it open, they're going to have to buy 10 of them to break open your phone. Self-destruct without court order. The idea here is that right now, at least on an iPhone, you can say, blow away my phone. I don't know where it is, and I want all the data on it to be blown away. And the idea is that if the law enforcement grabs your phone, they stick it in a bag, the unlock doesn't work unless it can talk to the net. And the only reason they're going to take it out and let it talk to the net is if they've already gotten a court order, a legal court order that basically they can give to, in this case, Apple, and say, don't let this phone blow itself away because I have a court order to open it up. And then the last feature of this that I want to talk about is basically your phone, the only thing that happens to it when it gets cracked open is that your unique ID gets erased and all that proof of work gets disappeared. So if Customs and Border Patrol takes your phone and they give it back to you in a week, and you decide, you can look at it and go like, oh, they've hacked it open. You have the ability, it's still a phone, it's still your phone, and it's in good shape. There's nothing wrong with it. It's completely functional. They spent 10 phones to open it up, but your phone is still a normal phone. So anyway, that's my proposal for sort of solving this problem. And I figured that the answer would be to maybe come up with a standard for hardware backdoors for electronic devices. That's it.
Thank you.